Welcome back. Too many children living below the poverty level go without proper dental care. This week, correspondent Patricia Césaire profiles two entrepreneurs making a difference, one smile at a time.
It's a cold and rainy day in downtown Newark, New Jersey. But regardless of weather, Mr. and Mrs. Harvell are always prepared for another beautiful day at the office. The forecast within their 8,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility is nothing but bright smiles and warm welcomes. For board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Lezli Harvell, this is a personal dream come true.
I went to dental school here in New Jersey. I just had an affinity for children. It was a lot of fun to me. So when it was time to apply to residency programs, I knew for sure that that was what I wanted to specialize in.
Her husband, Chris, had a totally different background with an MBA degree in finance, but Leslie's imagination led her to a very bright idea.
I was having a discussion with my husband, and we just came to the conclusion that wouldn't it be great to have a beautiful state-of-the-art practice, but do it in the heart of an urban area so that you can serve all types of people.
We thought that having a facility that was state-of-the-art, that had just about everything that you can think of for pediatric dentistry, was something that they should have access to.
Their big break came in 2007 when Senator Cory Booker, who was mayor of Newark at the time, helped create an economic development fund for potential business owners in the city. Chris took his elaborate business plan straight to the city officials. Before long, the loans were approved, and by 2009, Dental Kidz was officially open for business.
In terms of revenues, 2009 we made just about $500,000 in revenues. And to move forward to today, we make a little over $2 million in revenues.
These numbers are even more significant because roughly 80% of Dental Kidz patients pay with a state-subsidized healthcare plan or Medicaid, which most private practices refuse to accept because of low reimbursement rates. Those concerns have not stopped the Dental Kidz business from booming.
Right now, we currently see anywhere between 50 to 65 patients per day.
Before they even meet the doctors, they're meeting the front desk people, they're talking to them on the telephone. When your child is being cared for, they're being cared for by, someone you feel that sense of commonality with. One of the things that we believe is you cannot have a business in a community without becoming a part of the community.
We've had the same team in place now for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
The exact same team. So, once we were able to do that, it made a huge difference in terms of our turnover, which we have 0 turnover now, and the quality of the work that our staff actually produces for our patients. But we also have aspirations of expanding. And in our expansion plans, we were looking at a regional play where we're going to look to open up a practice in Midtown Manhattan, as well as in Harlem, and still in New Jersey, but in Jersey City. And for each of those practices, we think that they could do just as well from a revenue perspective as Newark, or even better for the New York City offices. In terms of number of patients, we think that the New York City practices will probably double the number of patients that we have, purely because of the population density that's there.
At home, where they care for their 5 lovely daughters, Chris and Leslie's roles are more or less interchangeable. But in the office, they've learned the importance of staying in their respective lanes.
One of the things that is really huge in our success is the fact that my husband does not have a background in healthcare. In the office, we have very specific functions. The other person cannot decide, okay, well, this is how we're going to deal with this clinically, or I wouldn't be able to decide, okay, this is how we're going to, negotiate this contract. It didn't work in the beginning.
One of the things that we used to hear a lot of, like, oh, you work with your spouse, like, ooh, yeah, that probably isn't too good. But it's a lot of fun because
yeah, we actually like each other.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
When we return, an executive insider tells us how his insurance company uses technology to attract new customers. Stay with us.